Okay, so this is my Super Bowl recap video. I did a Super Bowl prediction video a few days ago, and pretty much what I expected happened. Okay, and in that video, I'm just gonna give you the short version. In that video, I said that what the San Francisco 49ers would have had to do to win that game was hold the Kansas City Chiefs at bay long enough to give their offense enough time to put points up on the board. But I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that Kansas City eventually would break through, and once they get going, it was going to be hard to stop them. It was going to be hard to beat them because I didn't think San Francisco had the offense to go into a back and forth battle with Kansas City. Okay. And I made the analogy that I believe the Kansas City Chiefs was similar to a train. When they're not moving with no momentum whatsoever, I mean, they're pretty much stoppable. You can keep them at bay. But once they get going, the more they move, the harder it is to stop them. And I figured that they would probably start the game off slow and then pick it up in the second half. I didn't think they were going to wait till the fourth quarter to do it, but, they still got the job done. And I didn't believe that San Fran had the offense, period, to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs team. And mainly because of Jimmy Garoppolo. And let me say this, okay? I make a lot of comments. I make a lot of statements that some people may disagree with. Most people may disagree with. People call me crazy. Some people say I don't know what I'm talking about. Some people try to give me some fucking statistics to try to disprove what I'm saying. Like, I made a comment last week and I said Jimmy Garoppolo is a turnover machine. Now, what I meant by that wasn't just that he throws interceptions. That means that this guy will make mistakes. He will make a lot of mistakes. And the fact that this offense is so good and this offense is so loaded that sometimes they mask his poor play. Okay? And I said this. I said he is a turnover machine, and somebody said, well, he doesn't throw that many interceptions. I think he had like 22 touchdowns and 13 picks. And I've said this before in a video that I did on Eli Manning. I said, in today's league, most quarterbacks, for every one interception they throw at least 2 touchdowns. So if they finish the year with 10 picks, they usually throw, 25, 30 touchdowns. Okay? That's regular stuff now. I mean, even a quarterback like a Lamar Jackson, who 10, 15 years ago, no, not even that. It's longer than that. Probably between 15 and 20 years ago, when defenses were allowed to pretty much get physical, Lamar Jackson probably will be a 10 to 15 interception a year guy. I don't think that he would have been able to keep those picks under 10. I don't think that he would have been able to do that in an era where the defenses were allowed to pretty much jam the receivers at the line and pretty much get physical with them all the way throughout their route. And I don't know, man. I think we have a future with the quarterbacks that are in the league now. I think that there are some quarterbacks in this league that are really good. And they could carry this league for the next 10 years. But do I think any of them have the potential to be great? I'm not so sure. I don't know. Like Patrick Mahomes, for instance. Now, Patrick Mahomes had a phenomenal game. He started off really slow. And then it just progressively got, a little worse, a little weird. But then in the fourth quarter, he stepped his game up and he was able to get the job done. And a huge thing to that was his receivers getting open. Because there was a play that Patrick Mahomes made. He threw the ball to Tyreek Hill, and instead of waiting or throwing the ball away for Tyreek Hill to get open, instead of throwing him open or throwing the ball away, he threw it right to a linebacker. Which was, I've seen in the first 2 or 3 quarters of this game, I was like, this is the future of the league. Patrick Mahomes is supposed to be the greatest quarterback ever. He's supposed to be on his way to being the greatest quarterback ever. Jimmy Garoppolo is supposed to surpass Brady. He's supposed to be better than Brady. This is the future. All these bad passes that these kids are making. When I watch Patrick Mahomes throw that ball to the linebacker is right in front of Tyreek Hill, and he just threw it right to him. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? Because I can't believe that we're even entertaining the idea that these guys are, like somebody said, there were some people that believe that Patrick Mahomes, if he wins the Super Bowl, he's already a Hall of Famer. Are you serious? With some of those bad plays that they made in that game, and the only thing that redeemed Patrick Mahomes was that he was able to get it done in the fourth quarter. That was it. If he wouldn't have had that fourth quarter and they still would have won, that would have been a bad game by that guy. But he was able to redeem himself by coming up with some pretty big plays. But again, I think the offense that these guys have bailed them out in this game, man. They bailed them out. Now, there were some throws that that I keep getting them mixed up, that Patrick Mahomes threw that were just perfect passes. Like one pass to Sammy Watkins over top of Richard Sherman. That was just a perfect pass. And there was nothing, the separation that Sammy Watkins was able to gain, there was nothing Richard Sherman can do in that situation. And that defense did a great job with trying to stop the Kansas City Chiefs. But, you know, they just couldn't get the job done. And one more thing. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo. This kid, man, he's an average quarterback, man. I'm sorry. He just is. Like, he is. He's an average quarterback. Not only did this kid wasn't able to make it a game at the end, he got progressively worse as the game went on. I mean, those last two drives that I've seen of the 49ers, I was sitting on the couch laughing because I'm like, oh my God, this kid said he was better than Brady. This kid said he was better than Brady. When have we ever seen Brady play like this in a playoff game in the fourth quarter where he just constantly throws the ball away or throws interceptions? Just constantly. It's just like every time he drops back to throw the pass, you assume that this kid is going to fucking throw another pick. Like every fucking time, man. Every time. But, you know, it is what it is, man. I just went on for 7 minutes. But I had to get that out. I had to, you know, give my thoughts on the results, you know, what I've seen. And to say that I was right. Now, anybody who watches my videos know, man. I mean, I say a lot of things. Sometimes I'm wrong, but most of the fucking time I am right, and I was right in this situation. And my prediction for the Super Bowl was Kansas City was going to get the job done late. They were going to win this game 34-24. Now, the score was a little off. I was off by a few points, but it pretty much ended up being the way I thought it was going to go. Let's go.
Here's a little toss to Deebo Samuel over the right side. Big play.
And Deebo Samuel made some pretty big plays for the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know if they should put him, like, I don't know if they should, like, sometimes work him into the running back situation. But to have Deebo Samuel back there as both a runner and a receiver in your backfield, I think is valuable, man, because this kid made some pretty big plays running the ball, you know, on those, I guess those wide receiver end around plays, I guess. I don't really know what you call them. Sorry.
Still going. Mostert in the ball game. Here's another toss to Samuel. Looks like he wants to throw. Instead, he'll just pick it up with his legs.
Oh my God, he looking like Lamar Jackson out here. He looking like Lamar.
3rd down and 5. Good protection for Garoppolo, and the pass is incomplete. Looked like it was tipped. Damian Wilson may have gotten a hand on it. Game belonged to the 49ers. Kansas City went 3 and out. San Francisco got into field goal range, and the vet, Robbie Gould, 5 starters now.
I'm sorry, I'm going to turn the audio, like, way down. So that way I don't have to keep stopping it to say anything. But real quick, Kyle Shanahan needs to consider possibly moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo. At one point, Kyle looked so helpless out there. At one point, he looked helpless out there. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure him and his father, they devised a good enough game plan that they could have got this win. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo was just that anomaly. They didn't expect to play the way he did. And they got to look towards getting rid of him and possibly bringing somebody else in. But don't get rid of him unless you have a backup plan.
Tyreek Hill makes a move, gets a couple of extra yards as he got away from Richard Sherman.
It proves the theory that you don't have to be a great running team to have a great play-action game.
Damian Williams had a great game, a really good game. And that was my thinking going into the Super Bowl. Why is this running game not as effective as it could be, seeing as how the offensive line is as good as they are? And Damian Williams proved that, yeah, he can run. Especially on that last touchdown play.
3rd and 11, Mahomes will try to run and get it. Ball gets knocked out.
I've seen Mahomes get hit a couple of times that made me go, oh, wow, okay.
A big hit right on the football.
He better not keep taking those hits, man. That's what ends these mobile quarterbacks' careers prematurely, are these hits. He needs to watch it. Because, yeah.
A shift and a direct snap.
Damian Williams had a great game today.
He is short of the touchdown, but a first down.
He had a great game today.
Mahomes looking to flip, takes it in for the touchdown.
Mahomes better be careful about taking those hits.
From the 25, now trailing by 4. 49ers throw with Garoppolo.
That was a great throw. That was a great throw. I felt like Jimmy underthrew his receivers a lot in this game. Plays like that, like, all right. Now, there's a play that Mahomes makes that he's under the same kind of pressure. He even gets hit during the throw, and he's still able to complete that pass. But people were making, like the commentators were making excuses for Jimmy and why he wasn't, like why he made the play he did, why it resulted in an interception. And they were making a lot of excuses for him. But there are two types of quarterbacks in the league. Quarterbacks that can get the job done and quarterbacks that can't.
Williams on the pitch. First down. On 3rd down, pass broken up.
And right there, I thought that Patrick Mahomes put his receivers in some bad spots early on, where they could have possibly gotten hurt with where he was placing the ball. He was putting the ball on them, but there was somebody hanging on their back, and they would get smacked right as they was about to catch the ball, which is putting their receivers in a bad spot. Deebo Samuel had a really good game today running the ball, man.
They got the thumper in the lineup now with Kittle
and
fullback.
At one point, this kid was the offense because they really wasn't doing anything.
Down near the 25. Garoppolo keeps, throws, good catch. Samuel, first down. Garoppolo keeps, play action, passes, caught.
Juszczyk.
Touchdown.
Yeah, that was a great play by him. We don't give much love to the fullbacks in the NFL, but Juszczyk is the best fullback in the NFL.
He came off pretty sore.
Mahomes. Damian Williams.
Ooh, oh my God, nasty juke right there.
MVP in his first season to be
Nasty little cut.
That was leads his team all the way to the Super Bowl.
I think Damian Williams increased his value after this game.
Goes backward and gets about 10.
Like significantly increased his value.
With Denver back in 2015, and his dad Craig won 2 with the Steelers in the 70s.
Oh wow. Oh, I couldn't get it.
Down in 5 for San Francisco. Pass is caught. That's Wilson out of the backfield.
That was just a poor defensive play. They just left that wide open. There should have been a linebacker there at least. Great throw. Great throw.
get Kittle, Joe.
Oh yeah. Pass interference. That was a great throw, and I believe if Kittle didn't, if he would have tried harder to catch instead of pushing off on Sorensen, I think that he would have that would have been a great play and putting more points up before halftime. Now, I'm not saying Jimmy can't throw. When I make these comments about these quarterbacks, I'm not saying they can't play the game. I'm not saying they can't quarterback. I'm just saying they're not as good as people say they are. Look at Debo. Debo for a minute was the offense. He almost took on a Taysom Hill role. And a lot of these throws and catches are pretty good, but they're very basic, man. They're very easy reads. All you have to do is get them the ball. And Jimmy struggled a lot with putting the ball where the receivers could get it. Even Patrick Mahomes early on struggled with putting the ball in the right spot. That's why it was only 20 points total in the first half.
He's gotten the ball out of his hands, and I know Chris Myers, in talking with Andy Reid, said they haven't had the shots. They've had chances to take the shots.
Here's Mahomes out of the pocket, looking for somewhere to go, and he finds.
And that's the great thing about Mahomes is when he throws the ball, you expect somebody to catch it. You expect somebody to be open. And his receivers did a great job with getting open and giving him a target. Sammy Watkins also had a great game in this one.
Mahomes has it knocked out of his hands.
And he luckily got it back.
He's able to get back on top of it, but Nick
Bosa was surprisingly quiet in this game. I thought that if the San Francisco 49ers were going to win this game, it was going to start with that front four.
Third down and 12. Mahomes fires past.
And he threw, that's the play right there. That was such a bad read. Such a bad read because that linebacker was just in his.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Raston, and I'm excited to share with you the premiere episode of a new show I'm in on NBC.
That linebacker was in the running back's face or receiver's face, whoever. Oh no, it was Tyreek Hill. He was in the receiver's face and he just threw it right to him. I thought that was a terrible read.
Third down and 8. Pass is caught.
Great throw.
Down near the 10.
But you expect a good quarterback to make that pass, to make those throws.
Garoppolo keeps throws. Pass.
Juszczyk was he had some big catches.
And Juszczyk gets a big play off of it.
Hand off here. It's Mostert. He is in for the touchdown.
Even right here, I thought that if San Fran could have got the ball back and if they could have scored again, it would have put a crazy amount of pressure on the Kansas City Chiefs. But they weren't able to.
Mahomes chased by Bosa, gets away and dives for what is close to first down yardage, and they've given it to him. First down, Kansas City on the run by Patrick Mahomes.
And real quick, is it just me or Patrick Mahomes walking in this game? Like, he looked like a pregnant female. Like, he looked like a pregnant woman to me because of the way that he was like, I don't know, man. I found it weird the way he was walking sometimes. Like, okay. Like, why are you walking like that? This game was boring. I was finding any way to be entertained in this game until the fourth quarter, and then the fourth quarter had me on the edge of my seat, man. It was awesome.
Third sack of the night for San Francisco. Now Mahomes slides.
Oh my God! Poor tackling. Poor tackling. Poor tackling. And Kansas City in the fourth quarter showed a sense of urgency. Oh, that was just a bad play by the receiver. Well, no, I think it was a underthrown pass by Patrick Mahomes. But if you're Tyreek Hill, you have to come up with that catch. You have to come up with that catch. I think it was a poor play by both the receiver and the quarterback. And then we just watched Garoppolo progressively get worse.
And then shoved out of bounds. Second and 15. Mahomes steps into it. Pass is
great throw, great
Hill.
catch.
During the break, they overturned the call. It's a successful challenge by
Oh,
Shanahan.
yeah, it wasn't a catch.
The ball on the ground. No,
I didn't see this challenge. I must
Mahomes magic.
haven't been paying attention right there because I didn't know that they challenged it.
Launches down the middle. Hill.
Wide open.
Caught.
I was screaming after that. I was like, oh my God, are you serious?
And they get it. Kansas City.
He was wide open. There was nobody within like 10 yards of him.
One-on-one at the bottom.
I was screaming, man. At this point on, man, I was thoroughly into the game. Pass interference. I don't know what that DB was doing, man, but he just kind of like jumped up in Kelsey's face for some reason. I don't know why. Like, first of all, you're not even looking at the ball, so how do you know that you're jumping in the right spot? And then that's just face guarding. That's all that is.
20-yard penalty, a first down, first and
Great play. Great play right here.
Kelsey, Chiefs are back in it.
And at this point, I was like, yeah, I think it's over. I think Kansas City is going to make that run. And they made that run. I said it. If you let them score 3 consecutive times, the momentum, man, it builds, man. Every time they score, the momentum builds. And it's hard to stop them if you let that build up.
Pressure. Mahomes gets away. Pass is caught. First down. Second down and 7. Mahomes.
Look at this. Right, great play. There's nothing Sherman could have did on there. Did on that play. He needed safety help. And the safety just wasn't in the spot. Great touchdown right there.
Kansas City jumps on top.
Yeah, they challenged, but, you know, they gave it to him. Because they couldn't return it. And then Jimmy got worse. And then Jimmy got worse after this.
Already out to the 32. Securing the 6th Super Bowl win for San Francisco. Pass is caught by Bourne. And he is
that was a little high. Maybe if he could have put it a little lower, that would have gave Kelvin Bourne a little bit more space to run. Or a bit time to run. Overthrew Emmanuel Sanders right there. That should have... I don't know. I just felt like he should have put that ball a little bit more on the money. And then right there, he was getting taken down. He just grabbed the ball with 2 hands and just threw it like a little kid. And then right here, this was game. This was game. That's how you knew the defense was done. The defense couldn't do anything anything else to stop them when you give up a play like that late in the game. Interception right here. Great play. Game over. And that's how the Kansas City Chiefs won the game. And that pretty much went the way that I thought it was going to go. I had some time to sleep on it before I made a video about this because I was still in the throes of emotion when I was watching the game. I was so excited. I was happy for Andy Reid, man. Finally, he got himself one. I thought that they were going to find a way to fuck this game up because the team just looked so bad early on. But then I was like, you know, when it was like a 10-point lead, like late in the game, I was like, I don't know, man. Kansas City still got a chance. All they got to do was score, and they got that score they needed. They got the ball back, and that was it. I mean, there was nothing that the San Francisco 49ers could have done about it because I think they were at that point. The defense was gassed. I think they expended a lot of energy trying to stop this team early on, and they needed their offense to put up more than fucking 20 points to give them a chance to win, and they just didn't. But that's about it, man. I hope everybody enjoyed the game. I thought that it started off really, really slow, but it picked up. And yeah, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. All right.